so on to Palace 2.
Yeah,
Because
let's get our next main character of the Phantom Thieves going.
so this character is Yusuke Kitagawa,
Yes.
an artist from some other school whose name I forgot.
Uh, Kosei High.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Pre-
Kosei
Pretty
High.
sure it's Kosei High, because Hifumi's from
Kosei
there.
High. Kosei High Fine Arts Academy, probably.
Yes, actually, I think that is it.
So he's an artist. He's a pretty eccentric artist. He trains under the prestigious, I forgot his first name.
Uh,
Madara,
yeah, Madarame. That's how everyone knows him, anyways.
Gohan Madarame, because he's voiced in English by Kyle Hebert.
What'd you call him?
Kyle Hebert.
No, the Madarame.
Gohan Madarame.
Gohan Madarame. How about I look up his name?
I mean, you could do that, but again, he's voiced by Kyle Hebert, who's adult Gohan. So that's how I always remembered him.
Adult Gohan called Boo a retard, and then ate shit later.
I know, I know. That was that was one of the best moments in the DBs in. I think it was in the sub actually, in the
Yeah,
original
it
Japanese.
was in the original sub. It wasn't in the dub because if you're, stupid, you would put that in your dub. Like saying, "Don't shoot, he's black" in your dub. Thanks, Dragon Ball.
It makes me really wonder why they didn't put that in the original dub.
They did. Oh,
No,
the retard
talking
part.
about yeah.
Yeah,
It makes me wonder why they didn't put that in there.
I
That
don't
if they're
know.
stupid enough to put in, don't shoot, he's black.
I know. Oh, also his name is Ichiryusai Madarame.
Ah, yes, that name I'm totally gonna remember.
Yeah, we're gonna remember that in 5 minutes.
I'll just stick with Gohan.
Yeah, well, I'll just stick with Madarame.
Yeah. So, Madarame is your next target, but you're probably wondering, you're probably getting to that point in the game, and you're like, what the hell has this old man done?
Yeah, he's a very nice old man actually.
Yeah,
He's he,
he's a pretty good guy until you
he
end up getting
realize
into his palace.
yeah until you realize what he's actually doing.
Yeah, and what is he actually doing?
He is fuck now I forgot the goddamn word. I have lost my train of thought completely. Um, Plagiarizing. That's what he's doing. He's plagiarizing.
He's
He's plagiarizing his students' works basically.
yeah.
Uh, More or
Um,
less the Sayuri, the bigger one.
the Sayuri is Madarame's well-known piece.
Also, it's important to note the tip that you get is from wait, no, I guess they do go into mementos before this
You're right, they do
because this
because
is where that comes from. They got a tip from
yeah,
a request
yeah, and the shadow that they were going after ends up saying, "Well, why aren't you guys going after Madarame?"
because he's plagiarized work. Yeah, so they have discovered mementos, so I guess we should probably talk about that too, since we're stupid
Mementos is the palace
of
of
everyone.
everybody, everybody's
It's the
palace.
public. It's the public's palace.
Yep. And that means it's endless
Yes,
until you get to the end.
until you get to the end.
But Mementos is without a doubt the biggest palace in the entire game.
Yes.
If you really do want to compare, because Mementos is its own completely different beast.
Yeah.
So if you really want to say, okay, Mementos is a palace because it is called everybody's palace, but again, it's its own entirely separate beast. So if
I would
you
almost
want
go
to,
as far as to call it just a palace in general.
you would call it a palace.
I would. I mean, I know what's coming, so I call it a palace.
Well, yeah. Then Mementos is without a doubt the biggest palace in the entire game,
Yeah.
and I'm talking like floors upon floors upon
And they're
Memento.
randomized.
Yeah, Mementos is the randomized
This
dungeons
is where
of.
your procedural generation will come from. That's
Yeah,
not in the game so far.
so if you're used to Persona 3 and Persona 4 and you're thinking, "Oh, wow, these dungeons are simpler." Welcome to Mementos, bitches.
Yeah, and Morgana's also able to turn into a car.
Insane. Yeah, because like it's completely natural to think of cats transforming into cars and buses. Nice Totoro reference there. I live.
You live?
Yeah, like no, seriously, when they made that Totoro reference in the game, it made me smile because I love that movie so
When
much.
Morgana does his little dance and then he says, Morgana, transform! Ooh.
Morgana Henshin. Because that's what transform is in Japan.
I wouldn't know this.
I wouldn't either.
Yet you're the one who
That's
brought
why
it up.
that's why I said I believe.
Oh, that's a good song in Persona 5. That we're
That
probably that
is.
we're probably not going to touch in the next couple parts.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're gonna have to wait a while to get to some of the good stuff.
The really good stuff too. I will say, Persona 5 actually starting like the main bulk of the game that I like doesn't start until uh Palace 4. I'm not saying
Per,
Palace 1 through 3 suck, but man, they don't I don't feel like they carry near as much weight as from 4 onward.
I agree because starting with starting with Palace 4 it kind of really breaks, what's
What to
the
expect.
yeah, the established formula of bad guy is bad, steal treasure, change of heart.
Yes.
And then Palace 5 completely breaks that in a whole new way. And then Palace 6 and 7 kind of go back to it.
Yeah.
And uh Palace 8. Palace 8.
Palace 8. We'll get there. I promise.
And then
We just gotta
and
blow through the rest of this fodder at the beginning.
yeah, so you really think oh well, Ichirisu Madarame, like, is he really like that bad? And then you kind of find out, even past the plagiarizing, yeah, he's that bad.
Yeah, 'cause he kind of let Yusuke's mom just kind of die
Yeah,
when she was having like a stroke in front of him or something?
it was something
A
along
stroke or
those
a heart
lines.
attack, one of the two. He just kind
There
of let her
was
die.
there was a cut scene that would have established more on that. I think I shared that with you.
Probably. I don't remember watching it though, 'cause I'm not gonna lie. How much of that is actually real?
I'm pretty sure it was real.
'Cause some of that stuff
It
on YouTube I don't really buy.
I can understand that. I personally
To
think it was real.
me,
I won't say
here's
it's
how it is.
fact.
What engine do they use for this game? Is it known?
Um, I think they use the.
It's not Unreal, is it? I don't think it's Unreal.
I think um, it's the same goddamn engine that fucking.
Persona 5 engine.
Yeah, I was about to look.
Um, the developer's P Studio,
Well,
obviously.
yeah, we know the developers.
Gamebryo.
Oh, okay, Gamebryo engine.
While Catherine used the third-party Gamebryo game engine, Persona 5 used a specially created engine. Well, hold on. Hoshino believed that the new engine would make rendering their ideas much easier. Oh, so this is a brand new engine from 2017,
Okay.
I guess. But I think it's like a part of Gamebryo.
Oh, okay.
By the way, that's from Wikipedia. For people that want to know where that came from, I'm not going to actually look up the website though, because I'm too lazy. Just type
But
in fucking Persona 5 engine, you fucks.
what engine does the video game Persona 5 Royal use video game 2020 video game engine? Google.
Google. Google needs to be typed in there.
Oh yeah, you won't get the accurate search result otherwise.
Hell no.
They'll just send you over to Bing.
Yeah.
Um so Yusuke actually refuses to accept and believe this slander
And
towards his
oh my god, did he
towards his
refuse?
master and his teacher. Oh yeah, he refused, but he still wanted Anna pose naked.
Yes. That was one of my favorite scenes with that was on putting on all those stupid clothes because she's like, "Yeah, I'll do it." But, you know,
I just got
I got a
I
strip for
it
you,
was
so it's got to have to take a few minutes, just
I
enough
mean it
for
was
Madarame to come back.
it was really cold today in middle of May.
Yeah. God, that makes me wonder though. How the fuck was she not like sweating her ass off in that?
It's a video game. They
I'm
didn't model this.
aware, but still yet though, no normal person could have ever even probably worn that much and even walked.
Uh, but anyway, it's set up. It's set up to make the player and the characters think that Yusuke is just some kind of weird perv, when no, really, all he do is just do art.
Yeah, all he wanted to actually do was draw. He didn't actually he even says he does not have any interest in her as someone of the opposite sex. That he says exactly that.
Right.
Even
But
though Yusuke still
it
can't
also
take the hint.
makes you think, well, damn, is he gay then? And then the spin-off Persona 5 dancing actually confronts that with a scene where Ryuji's asking you and Yusuke, what's your type of girl? And Yusuke ends up saying, some artistic mumbo jumbo. Therefore, all women are my type.
Well, at least we got an answer, I suppose. It's not
Yeah,
vague.
I keep looking at this goddamn GIF I sent you.
Oh, I know. It's fun to look at.
It is. It's really well animated.
But we are kind of jumping the gun just a little bit because we didn't talk about the palace itself, which we go into and then we see the Anne clothing part. Uh,
Yeah. The
when you
palace.
it takes them what like
Is
2 or 3 days to even get the passwords right.
Yeah. The palace is what Madarame sees. Madarame views his tiny little shack as an art museum,
Yes.
a grandiose art museum. And the very first room you go in, or one of the first rooms you go in, is just full of paintings, but the paintings are actual paintings of his former students that he stole art from.
Yes. Which
So
is
it just
pretty
so
good symbolism.
right there at the beginning of the palace, it shows you, yeah, this guy's just a dick.
Yes. The fact that it even had a palace says something
Like,
too.
he might not be as bad of a human as Kamashita was,
Well, what he's still
but
doing is pretty
but
shitty.
yeah, well, no, that's the thing. The game is telling you he might not have been as bad as Kamashita, but this guy is pretty bad.
Well, especially once you learn about Yusuke's mother later.
I think he also genuinely drove one of his students to suicide after
I think so,
plagiarism.
because I think that's what
So,
the informant mentioned. Their tip.
so the thing is that Kamashita failed and Madarame succeeded.
Hmm.
And that's something that I literally just realized right now.
I'm also going to say right now that has one of my favorite dungeon themes. It's called A Woman, It's just
A woman,
the
a woman
song.
is pretty.
What?
No, I said a woman is pretty good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Obviously, my other favorites is Price, and
Yeah, I
of
was
course,
gonna say,
everybody also knows that Whims of Fate because it's
Whims of Fate is so. I really think like half of our whole discussion, like when you break it all down, half of our discussion is just gonna be like the music is. So,
I mean, that's what happens when you have a fucking master orchestrating how the soundtrack's gonna go.
yeah, I wanted to say that um, Madarame's Palace has a little bit of behind it. Not because of like, oh, I was moved emotionally or anything by it, but in the original vanilla Persona 5, Madarame's Palace is when when I purchased the only two DLC packs that I ever bought for the vanilla Persona 5, and that was the Persona 3 costume and the Shin Megami Tensei If costume.
Yeah.
Both of those costumes came with uh, their own music track to go over the battle theme and the results theme. Now, obviously, Persona 3s will just replace the battle theme with mass destruction and the um, results theme with the Persona 3 results. But Shin Megami Tensei If replaced the battle theme with until Persona 5 Royal and Song That Will Not Be Named until near the end. I believe I believed that Old Enemy Akira volume was the best battle theme in any Persona game.
Yeah.
And it was a remix. It was a remix of a Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne battle theme that was a remix of a Shin Megami Tensei If battle theme.
Hmm.
And
But
it's so like, yeah, there's no vocals to it. There's no epic you'll never see it coming or no baby 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 baby, but just the hardcore fucking rock guitar music in it.
yeah.
I never took that costume off. And in fact, I even played through the game a second time with Persona 5 Royal until I got to the very definitely final dungeon. I didn't take that costume off either
Really.
because I love that battle theme so much.
It's just
Old
too bad that
Enemy
you can't.
Akira.
It's just too bad that you can't like set the battle music and the costumes though.
That's something that I really think Atlas should update. I know they won't, but
No. The only thing they're updating
because
anyways for the game is text. Because there's still some text boxes I've noticed that are still kind of fucked.
I don't hate the Shin Megami Tensei If costume, but I like a lot of the other costumes more. But my problem is I don't like the music associated with them as much.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's a perfect example. I love the Persona 2 costumes,
Yeah.
and it's a shame that it's a shame that only the main only the main character having any costume equipped will change the battle theme, and B, I don't like the Persona 2 battle theme that much, and anywhere near as much as Old Enemy.
Yeah.
So while I love the costume, in a perfect world, what I would ask Atlas to do, since you only have four party members, is just make a system where it just randomly chooses a battle theme uh based on one of your four party members' costumes.
That would be nice.
Yeah, because maybe you want Makoto wearing the Seven Sisters High costume, because I liked how she looked in that. I really genuinely. Maybe you want Mamma Mia wearing his Phantom Thief outfit because that looks really cool. Maybe you want Yusuke wearing the Shin Megami Tensei 4 samurai armor because it just fits him
Yeah.
a lot. And maybe you want Ryuji wearing, I don't know, one of the new costumes they added. I think one of the new
Catherine.
costumes they added. Yeah, no, Catherine was one of the originals. Um, maybe you want, yeah, it was Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux.
Yeah.
Maybe you want Ryuji wearing that costume. So why can't they have a system where it's like, okay, one battle Last Surprise or Takeover will be playing, depending on how you do it.
Yeah.
One battle the Persona 2 theme will be playing. One battle the Shin Megami Tensei 4 theme will be playing. One battle the Strange Journey theme will be.
Yeah, that's still one of like the things I'm questioning about like their design, but I understand like I mean, I don't understand why they didn't do it, but like I get it. They didn't want to make the time for it, probably because it was probably too much work. Because this game is just a remix when you think about it. It's not even a remix; it's more of an update. You there, Mason?
Oh shit, my mic got muted. So, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, my mic got muted somehow. I don't know how.
Who knows? You are cutting out here and there just a little bit, though. I've been noticing more and more. I don't know why.
I apologize for that.
That's all right. It's still legible though. It's not like you're illegible or anything.
Uh, I don't know what you weren't able to hear. I don't know what cut out. So I'm just
Oh,
gonna say,
a lot of it's been cutting out, but like I said, it's still legible, like what I'm hearing, so it's
well,
no big
no.
deal.
Well, what I mean was when my mic got muted. I don't know when that got muted.
Oh, like
So,
the moment I started saying whatever when you were done talking.
um, I was saying that I I don't for my particular idea of like, like dependent on the costume between your party member, one of four themes will play. That might be a little too much work, but I don't think it would be that much work to just sit there and add an option in the menu.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the costumes you want, and now here's the battle theme you want playing.
Yeah, it would have, you know, been nice to have
They didn't. They
some
didn't
of
even
that.
add. They didn't even add the DLC battle themes as an option to be playing in your thieves den.
Like I said though, I don't want to go off on this kind of too harsh, but this is kind of where I'm like they could have just gave us like a DLC or something for vanilla instead of just giving us another $60 product. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
update. They updated a lot, but it wasn't anything substantial. Now, if they fully 100% voice acted this game, I would have been like, you know what? I could maybe see paying $60 for this thing. But uh, all they did was add an extra palace. They added two new characters. To me it didn't. And they remixed a few boss fights. No, they remixed all the boss fights. But even then, I'm still not like wholly impressed as it's considered a new product. That's just me. That's part of the reason why I was so bored with it off the bat. Once I got to Madarame's palace, I realized that they've done a little more to help you maybe get into it a little more. Even then, though, I was still pretty bored when I was at Madarame's palace. Even after that, Palace 3 didn't help a whole lot either. Just the nostalgia, though, for the music was kind of what kept me kind of going, really, for the most part.
Da, 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 da.
But let's
Anyways,
go. Let's keep going about Madarame's palace, and I guess we'll call it. I figured we would have
yeah.
gotten to Palace 3, but I'm getting a little. I have to kind of go to the bathroom, so we're gonna have to keep going with
So
Madarame, and then we'll have to stop. But
you end up finding out Madarame, not on you his most prized work, the Sayori, you end up finding out not only did Madarame plagiarize that, he plagiarized it from Yusuke's mother.
Yes.
Yusuke's mother is the one that painted that piece, and it then becomes for Yusuke not just the piece that inspired him to become an artist, it becomes the piece that is his last remaining thing from his mother.
So that's part of the reason uh,
That's
how it became his piece though is uh, he he basically watched her had a stroke and she died, and that's how that
yeah,
ended up happening for the most part. And
yeah.
that's part of why Yusuke is so torn over all of it after he learns the truth. Because once in Madarame's palace, his was a special case, as some other palaces are kind of like this too. You have to open a certain area in the real world to like
So
make the area more open to you, basically,
so, so you can't. Some palaces you can, but for Madarame, you can't complete the palace in a
in one
single
day.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some palaces need 2 days or even more. Um,
yeah.
but with Madarame's, basically you run into a locked door that you can't open. So you have to go into reality and open a door that he has locked for no one else to see, and there's a reason for that. And so the team, you, I was literally about to say Yusuke, um,
The
Ryuji,
team plus
Ryuji and
Yusuke.
Mamma Mia go into the metaverse for that day. They need to get that door unlocked, and then Anne and Morgana stay behind in the real world to get the
And that's
door
when
open.
that's when An comes in with like 400 sweaters on.
Yes, and Morgana's trying to pick the lock with cat paws.
Yeah, and
And so
by the
they finally get the door open, and Anne's down to her last thing of clothing because they needed
yeah,
the character model to be able to move without it looking stupid.
and then by the time they've got that, they hear
Madarame came in
yeah,
from being
because
gone
An's trying to sweet talk Yusuke
with bad
because
acting.
yeah, I mean yeah, really really bad acting. Like, oh, but I would really want to do it in some privacy where no one can see us. Hey, what about this door right here? Huh? Let's go into that room. And so while they're arguing out in the hallway, they hear Madarame come in, and that's when An just pulls Yusuke into the room.
Yeah. And then all the secrets about Madarame is revealed at that point, and then Madarame calls cops, basically. And then you have a
Yeah,
time limit until the cops find you. But
yeah,
then,
but
as
because of that, you're able to get into the locked area, and then it's just permanently activated.
yes, and then Anne activates the meta nav with Morgana and Yusuke, while Yusuke's not a persona user yet. And
Yet,
then you go around Madarame's palace, seeing all the pictures of the previous students that he's had. And then Yusuke finally comes to term with it, and then he activates his persona, and then you kick some Shadow's ass, and then Yusuke's like, "Oh, I'm tired," and then they rest, and then they go back in the palace and they defeat the thing.
yeah, they defeat Gohan Madarame,
Yes, I will say
who
though,
was a lot easier in Royal than he was in Vanilla.
but I do like how if you've played Vanilla, they trip you up. I do like that.
How so? What did they do for the fight specifically?
They used multiple colors of Madarame in Royal. They didn't do that in Vanilla. All he was in Vanilla was just the 4 paintings.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But it was a lot easier.
Yeah, it was easier, but they tricked me. Like they trip you up. It's like we're just trying to keep you on your toes if you've played this before. However, if you're new to the game and you've played Persona Royal first before Vanilla, this isn't going to surprise you. However, if you've played Vanilla, excuse me, you will be surprised. I think anyways, because to me, the thing with Kamoshida bringing Shiho and Moon Boy over over to his side, that wasn't much to me. Honestly, I didn't really even notice. However,
I know. I noticed Shiho only because I was like, God damn, that's kind of fucked up, dude.
I mean, I noticed it. It was fucked up, but it wasn't like anything I really cared too much about. Like it isn't reason for me to really notice much because it nothing really happened from what I remember. I think all that Shiho added was a fucking volleyball attack or whatever. She
Yeah,
she added one attack to his list of moves that were already pretty small to begin with. With Madarame, if you didn't down all those Madarames, they would fuck you up because they're all different elements, and if any of your party is weak to it, they're gonna get fucked. So with Madarame, I guess I'll explain how this boss fight is. It has two phases. You have the first phase of Madarame's boss fight is four pictures: your eyes, your nose, and your mouth. And each one of those pictures, except for the eyes, I think the eyes have the same affinity to be weak to, the same
yeah.
element to be weak to. But
But I think overall each layer, eyes, nose, mouth, has its own weaknesses and strengths, resistances.
yeah, so I
So
mean, but they were all weak to something. I just don't remember what. But I just remember the eyes being the same and the nose and the mouth being different. But after that bit is done, because I thought the boss fight was done, I was about to just throw my controller on the floor and be done for the night. But then after that, it's like, nah, dude, you still got like 800 more Madarames to fight. Not literally, but Madarame, I think he turns into six at most. I think 5 or 6, probably 5. But
yeah,
he can turn
cause
in. He can turn yellow, green, blue, and red, and
yeah,
each one of those corresponds
at
to the element that he is strong against and weak against. So if he's green, you're gonna want to use electricity. If he's red, you're gonna want to use ice. And same, with all the others. Um,
thank God at that point in time you didn't have nuclear or psychic though, because that would have just made the boss a whole lot more complicated.
yeah, yeah, thank God.
Like shit,
Which
what is
is why he
psychic
is.
weak
Which is why
to?
his palace is such a good starting point for the game. Like the first two palaces are pretty fucking perfect though in Royal. Like they're pretty solid in general.
Yeah,
Like they're very good starting points for you to get to learn the elemental system and colors associated with the game to a degree. That's kind of like how Pokemon works, where it's not always that way, but like Bulbasaur's green, he's going to be weak to fire.
hmm,
Charmander's red, he's going to be weak to water because it's blue. You know what I mean? Like it's all that color visual effects that I like about this kind of stuff that you can see just from looking at it what it's weak against. Even if you're not experienced in video games and you started with Persona Royal for whatever fucking reason,
Persona 5. We may be
this is
saying
a good
Persona
place
5.
to start.
We may be saying Persona 5 Royal is easy, but for a beginner into the Persona series, it'll still kick your ass.
Yeah, especially if you play it on normal first and you don't know
Yeah,
what you're doing.
because if you just jump in with no lot of knowledge to Persona, I can guarantee you that. Well, if you jump into Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, at least the spells will give you like hints,
Yeah.
because I think they'll describe what I think they'll describe the spell. Like they'll give a description of what it does. They didn't do that in 3 and 4.
No.
So you don't know how fucking confusing it was playing Persona 4 for the first time and being, what the fuck is an Agi?
What is an Agi?
That is a question I genuinely asked myself. What the fuck is an Agi?
It's a
And then,
fire. And
yeah, I
then you
had to
use the attack and it's like, oh, it's fire.
oh,
Agi's a
oh,
fire.
it's fire. Okay. Why is it named Agi? What is a Zeo? Oh, it's electricity. Okay.
I thought they had images beside the attack for that though.
I I
In
don't
four at
remember.
least.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. It's been years since I played four.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like, if they didn't have those images and those spell and those descriptions and whatever, it would not be fun to be a newcomer jumping into it because you would
No.
not know those spells are. What is a Rakukaja?
That's a good one though for sure because there's not even a picture associated with that. It's just a picture of blue and black tiles
Yeah,
forming a pattern.
how are you genuinely supposed to figure out that besides the description, how are you supposed to
What does
figure out
Rakukaja do? It can't increase my attack. Surely it doesn't.
Raku, Rakukaja doesn't increase your attack,
I
it
know.
increases
That's why I'm saying I'm acting as a new person.
no, but
It's Tarukaja that does that.
a new person because Rakukaja is like 8 SP,
Something like that.
I think. So, you know, even though you're at Madarame's pass, that's still a fairly nice chunk of SP. So you're sitting there thinking like, I don't even know what this spell does. Do I really want to waste it just to figure out what it does?
Whatever you do, don't use any kind of mind-oriented effect for boss fights in Persona 5 if you've never played it and you're for some reason listening to this first. It
I
doesn't
mean,
work. I'm telling you right now, Brain Jack does not work.
yeah, yeah. Status ailments are
Yeah, ailments,
almost
that's what it is.
never status elements almost never work on bosses in
No.
most any RPG, but most especially Persona.
Unless if it's Palace 3,
Does a status ailment really work on Palace 3?
it has to work. You have to confuse one of the enemies in the Palace 3's boss fight.
Really?
Yes, actually.
Huh.
Once we're done talking, we'll talk about that.
Well, actually, we can't because I gotta go to bed.
I mean, you could just put your headset down. We could resume if you'd prefer. Probably not though, because it's like 1:30 in the morning for you.
Yeah, no, and I gotta get to.
So yeah, we should probably be finishing up then.
Yeah, we should.
What were we saying? Oh yeah, but Madarame's fight, it's pretty basic though, all things considered. But it threw me for a loop though once I saw all this extra stuff though that you could do with that.
I felt the same because I remembered Madarame being a real challenge for me in my first playthrough of Vanilla.
Hmm.
I remember Madarame being a challenge, so I was prepared for Madarame to be just as much of a challenge. And when I took down Madarame's uh, what I thought at first was when I took down Madarame himself, I was like, God damn, that was easy.
Yeah,
And then phase two hit, and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
I got a little excited though once I saw that second phase. I'm like, this is actually pretty good.
Now it did take me just a little bit to catch on to what I was supposed to do.
Really,
Mostly, well, because I wasn't trying.
you weren't
I don't
sure.
think. Yeah, I wasn't sure, and I was trying to figure out like, do I need to knock them all down? Like, what am I doing here? I'm gonna be a little careful just to make sure. I think I might have sent out some Araku Kaja or some buff spells and been like, all right, I'm gonna see what I got to do here.
Otherwise, it wasn't too bad. And at the end of the fight, once you knock him past a certain, I think, amount of HP, he can't call on them anymore.
That might be true.
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure. I don't
actually
remember the
remember.
reason why though, but I remember it being a very good symbolic reason for his palace. That was part of the reason why they added it. I'm pretty sure, anyways. I just don't remember why. Why?
Because money, my dear boy.
Maybe that was what it was. I just don't remember though. Oh, I remember why.
Why?
Let me try to piece it together just real quick because he I think that was based. I think it's based on how many portraits he had stolen, like
Ah,
plagiarized, and then he ran out because he couldn't summon anymore. It's kind of the same gimmick with the third palace, because the
you know what?
third one I remember very well.
You know what? That would honestly make a lot of sense.
It was something like that. I just remember I was just remember though being so enamored by them adding a second phase to that fight. I'm like, I kind of like this. This gives me a reason to sit back up in my chair instead of fall asleep. But yeah, I guess that's kind of the end, isn't it, for what we're gonna do today on this one?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Uh,
Next time, I think we might start discussing Kasumi, the other new character that was introduced,
yeah, we start seeing her a lot more in the next sections.
and we'll also discuss Palace 3 and maybe even Palace 4.
I'd say we can probably get to Palace 4. Yeah, I'd say we could probably finish Palace 4 because we had to establish a lot by now at this point, anyways.
Yeah, we've got all the basic shit down and out, and I think we'll probably get a little less off topic because now we don't have to keep cutting each other off, being like, oh wait, we got to explain this thing and this thing, and
Yeah.
then we have a story about this thing and then this thing that isn't relevant, because now we'll just be able to start talking more about the characters that we start to meet, maybe go over some more social links.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
We
I
didn't
feel,
even really cover any social links. We should probably do that though next time.
I mean, there aren't really that many social links you can really start off at that point in the
Not
game.
really, but you have I think about 4, don't you?
Well, there's Moon Boy, there's
And Ryuji, Tay.
On Ryuji Tai. I think before I think after Kamishita, but before you start Madarame's, I think you can start uh, Kawakami's. I think. Don't quote me on that.
I remember you have to have Moon Boy to have that.
Yeah,
I think that's after Madarame. Whatever, we'll cover it next time anyways.
yeah.
'Cause
We can
we should
figure that
probably start
out.
off with Confidants tomorrow or whenever we do this. We should probably do this again tomorrow. That way it's fresh on our mind.
If I can, I won't make any promises.
That's fine. No, I'd like for us to do this sooner than later because, that way it's fresh.
All right.
It's there.
Uh, well, it's been a fun discussion. I hope anybody that's listening in is enjoying this.
And if you're not, fuck you.
No, be nice to the people that don't like it.
No, fuck you.
Okay, fine.
It's
You
my audience for what little
Yeah,
audience I have.
yeah, but I want your audience to be my audience.
Well, that's fine. I'm putting your fucking channel in the description anyways.
I'm a very infrequent uploader, but you can catch my Crash Bandicoot LP over at my channel. That's that's pronounced shamelessplug.com
Shamelessplug.com.
// psychotic Sonic.
Psychotic Sanic.
Yeah, Sanic. Don't forget the
Sanic.
San
Don't forget the
spell.
N in there. The San.
Yeah,
Sans.
Sans the skeleton. I also have an Undertale LP. It's shit. Don't watch it.
Go watch it.
No, please don't. Really, seriously, I'm not joking. That that shit's audio quality was awful. Anyway, we should probably end the call.
Alright.
All
Yeah.
right, bro.
And stop recording too.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Alright. See ya, bruh.
All right, bro. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.